But if you want to be a trader, the number one thing that you need to be as a trader is profitable. And by being profitable, you're not the biggest friend of the trading industry.
It's been a long time since we had the pleasure meeting you. Now we decided to have a podcast together, not in German as usual. This time we would like to have this conversation in English because we're just realizing over this last decade, more and more people basically worldwide are started being interested into trading. Why the people are being interested into trading and why everyone thinks it's easy. I think we're going to clarify it today.
Good topic.
I want to listen to your opinion, obviously, and also I want to, express my opinion. But at the end of the day, today the main question that I want to clarify is: first of all, is it easy to become a trader, and how do you stay a trader? And can you basically make a living out of being a trader? And what does it take? So, Alex, do we have to introduce you?
I guess like a little introduction never killed nobody, just for, I guess there are loads of people out there that never heard of me. And so let's take the minute to do that. So my name is Alex Duadari. I've been in the trading industry for close to 2 decades now. I'm an old man, basically, but I'm totally fine with that. Don't worry. And I started working for a German private bank. That's like my start of everything. I worked for a number of brokerages in the FX and CFD space. I also worked on the hedge fund side, in the asset management side of the business. I worked and still do on the education side of the business, basically teaching people how to develop their own strategies or how trading works in the first place. So I think it's safe to say that I have experience from almost every angle of this industry, from the provider side, from the trader side, from the asset manager side, from the education side, from the strategy development side, and from being and staying a trader side, because that's still what I'm doing. And so I don't make my money through courses, guys. Not that that's a bad thing, but you can make money with courses, but you should make a little bit with trading too, right? If you're selling courses.
I mean, you need to prove your credibility. You know what I mean?
I agree.
At the end of the day, everyone can say he's a trader, especially nowadays with social media. I think you need some sort of proof, that you have to provide to the people that you're really capable of, trading. And I think nowadays it's easy to scam people. So like you said, selling courses is nothing wrong. I mean, I do it, you do it. I mean,
it's like education is actually important, because how would people learn about it, right? Otherwise,
exactly. You need experienced people. This is what I don't like sometimes about this kind of, thinking to say, but if you make money over trading, why would you do courses? Why would you sell courses? Like, it's the same way if you would say, hey, Apple is, producing iPhones and phones. Why would they produce earphones? Why would they produce
or like simply stated, why would a professor, not go into the economy always instead of teaching, So those are two different pairs of shoes. They're not necessarily contradicting at all. But as you said, there's a lot of misuse of that, because
100%.
There's being a trader is not like a certificate from a university or anything like that, right? And that's why it can be so easily used. But let's get to that point a little bit down the road, because I think your initial question was, how do you become a trader?
Exactly.
And if you want my simple answer is that, and I'm sure everybody has heard that before, and they don't necessarily like to hear that, because people generally, whether it's weight loss, whether it's trading, whether it's making money online, where's the fucking magic pill?
The secret.
So where I think is that that most people don't understand, becoming a trader, and especially staying a trader, is a constant effort. It's something that you really need to do for the love of the craft, for really doing it. You need to, it's a high pressure environment, and you need to be, really built for that, or wanting to be that, like simple example I always use is like professional athletes. Once you're Cristiano Ronaldo, you don't stay Cristiano Ronaldo just by being it, right? It's like constant effort, day in, day out. And any of the great names in any industry are exactly that. You know, constant work is part of it. But before we get, that's maybe more staying a trader. Becoming a trader means, first of all, learn the basics, guys. You know, like nobody ever died just by going on Baby Pips and really learned the shit out of that page at the very first step. Before you believe signals, before you believe any of the stuff that's pushed on you on social media that propagates a simple, easy solution, how about you learn something first about it? You know, that would be my very first recommendation. Learn the basics, you know, before you become an author of a great book, a great storyteller, a movie script writer, any of these things, you got to learn language, you know, and that's really the most simple explanation that I have. Start there. And then also, and comes from me because I've worked in the trading industry for so many years. The trading industry is not interested in winning traders. The trading industry is interested in the trading industry. That means it's a little bit like the weight loss industry, a little bit like the healthcare industry. They're looking for customers to stay customers. And when you become a successful trader, their business model is usually built around the economics of the business model of the trading industry. Because so many people lose money, they don't want to give these losses to the market. These companies want to capture the losses of the people. So everything they will push through their channels has the side note of that they make money from their customers' losses. When you know that, which isn't bad per se, it's just bad when you believe that they're your best buddy, right? When your best buddy lives off your losses, then you should, you know, not trust everything he says to be helpful to your own goal. Depends again, what is your goal? You want to gamble, you want to have fun, you want to try yourself out. Totally fine, nothing wrong with that. But if you want to be a trader, the number one thing that you need to be as a trader is profitable. And by being profitable, you're not the biggest fan, you're not the biggest friend of the trading industry. You may be a good friend of the asset management industry, but you're not a friend of the trading industry per se. Those are different pairs of shoes. So that's why I would say anything that comes for free, you know, never is. You know, if you're basically paying with your own deposits, money, whatever.
Exactly. I don't think there is a certain way or a certain strategy where you could say that makes you a trader. I think at the end of the day, what it takes to be a trader is to have this kind of different parameters that are existing in the market. You know what I mean? The technical analysis, you know, in its different ways. You need to be aware of the fundamentals because, as you said, sometimes you hear that a lot. Oh, you just need the technicals. You don't have to worry about the fundamentals, which I don't, you know, necessarily, you know, would, agree with. You know, I think a good trader needs all the type of perspectives around him, and that makes a good trader. But what you said is nothing is for free. So if you really want to be a trader, what I realized is you need someone necessarily. If you want to have people want the shortcut that I necessarily often would recommend is that you have someone that already went all this road or went this journey and did all the mistakes for you in order to basically prevent you to go this road and lose your money. You know what I mean? And you're not going to get that for free. So you will get free education on YouTube. But this is what I always tell my people, putting everything together to one puzzle, I think that's the point where it gets difficult. You know what I mean? And that's the point where I say always to the people, get the shortcut. It's not really a shortcut, but it's someone who helps you.
No, it's a proper way. Since the dawn of history, people learn from other people that already know how to do it.
Exactly. I mean, you don't go. I mean, at the end of the day, you could be studying law without a professor. You know what I mean? But
you could just read the book, right? Exactly. And I think this is actually a very interesting point that you're touching on here of why successful traders should get involved in education is because that synthesis, that putting together process is something that is extremely challenging to do on your own by yourself. Especially also because there's so much wrong information out there that for obviously the free information that has other intentions, so you get confused easily. So but when you have someone that's someone that you choose to learn from, other than his own credentials and successes, needs to also play a game that you're interested in playing. You know, you can't learn from a day trader a long-term strategy or a hedge strategy, or, you know, like really take the time and especially when you're new in the game, and investigate what different trading styles are there. You know, do I want to trade futures? Do I want to trade forex? Do I want to trade intraday? Do I want to trade position trading? Do I want to use options? Do I want to you know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that you can
things you can do, like, and this is the issue, you know, people always want to have the easy way, but I can clarify that once for all, there is no easy way. There is, I know so many people,
and I think everybody knows that. So the question is, what is the next
do you
best
really
thing?
think that everyone knows that? I don't believe that.
Nobody wants to accept that, but everybody knows that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think deep down everyone knows it, but nobody wants to accept it.
You know, you want to lose weight? Stop eating chocolate, you know?
Exactly. You know, it's pretty much easy, you know? And this is the thing, but it's also caused by social media, you know what I mean? It's caused by social media that people think it's easy, you know? Sometimes just me scrolling through social media, I just realize people tell you it's just a copy paste.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. If it would be copy paste, everyone could do it, right? You know,
first of all, that, and also this whole you know, is a little bit like, look at a team in basketball or in football or soccer, I don't know, whatever word we use these days. Not every player has the same quality on every position. It's so important that you understand, what am I? Am I better as a striker? Am I better as a defender? Am I better, you know, am I a strategist? Because not everybody is built for the intraday. Guys, this is war, you know, like, no offense, but if you trade intraday stuff, you need to be a fighter by design. Like, I am not an intraday fighter. I'm going to tell you that flat out. And I'm not ashamed of that for a second, because I'm a strategist. I'm a hedging guy. I know how to utilize arbitrages, different types of markets to pull out really great risk-adjusted, patient results that are perfect. But are those the right strategies for someone with $100, $200? No, they're not, you know. But for someone with a few $100,000 or $1 million plus, absolutely, you know. Because you don't want to take these risks.
You know what I mean? You will sleep better. But is it the right way? Is it the only way? And this is what I also want to clarify, because what I don't like about this industry, there's so many people out there that says, that's the holy grail, and that's the only thing that works. You know, nowadays you hear often, oh, there is some sort of strategy called you trade like banks. You know, come on, guys, don't be silly. You
smart, whatever.
Exactly, smart, whatever, you know, they call it. You know, I'm not going to say it's not going to work for you. Probably it's going to work, but come on, guys, if you really.
But I can tell you something about that. How do banks trade? Really, what's the difference? Because the concepts of liquidity grabbing and blah, 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 blah. All of that is in and itself an oversimplification, because one thing banks have that you don't have is customer flow. You know, people that trade with that bank, if there's 1,000 people doing something on the market and that all comes into the bank, basically, then the bank knows basically, hey, because the bank also provides the liquidity to it, they may not be long or short in the same way naked. You know, they have certain exposure that they can load off or risk or hedge their risk differently. So they have extremely different needs to take certain positions than you have. Or market makers of options. We've seen that in the recent weeks, for example, in the stock market in the US. Every fundamental indicator tells you the market is ready for a drop, you know, but the market continues to go up. Why does it continue to go up? Because the number of put options that are expiring the same day that have been at an historic high. They've never been so high, so many. You know, short-term options. What does it mean? It means that whoever sells these options need to buy the underlying stock in order to hedge themselves, to pay the profits to the people that win with the options.
Causes the prices to go up. You know what I mean?
And this is driving the market up. But those are very short-term dynamics. So as soon as and we saw that on Friday, in fact, the put-call ratio started to shift, to change. You know, but again, that's something that a typical retail trader would never have a look at. What is a put-call ratio in the first place? Why does it matter? You know,
exactly. This is where we come again to the point where you need to understand and overall the fundamentals. This is, for example, the reason why I tell to my people, it's not a recommendation, just to tell them, listen, guys, I'm very careful with buying stocks right now, because what we are seeing here compared to the indicators of the fundamental economy are not, matching. It's not matching. It's not like it's saying, hey, we're fine.
Right.
Let's
It's just a
go
matter
up.
of time for this imbalance to rebalance.
Exactly. Thank you. And this is the reason why I always keep saying, is there the one and only strategy? No, there is not.
Absolutely
as
not.
already
Yeah.
mentioned, there is different ways of approach in the trading industry, and there is no holy grail.
Also, because markets changed. Like I said, for example, what we see now in the options market is something that never existed before in the history of markets, which means that the dynamics and the need to act in the market also changes with it. So that actually ties into the question how to stay a trader. To stay a trader is to stay a researcher, to stay a student, because things change, and as things change, you need to adapt. Buy the dip is not a long-term strategy.
No, how many times I got the question. I mean, I've been in the industry now for 9 years, and I have to tell you, the approach that I had nowadays in the last 2 years since Corona changed, because back the days, I wouldn't say it was easy, it was easier. What do I want to tell you by that? The movements of the market, they were way, 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 way smaller. So while you had a monthly candle that did maybe, let's say, 200 points, you have the 200 points within 15 minutes in the Nasdaq. So the market's changed. So you can't.
Which means the risk you can take and the amount of trades you could add in an intraday strategy, for example, changes significantly.
There we go.
That will cause you a margin call today to trade the same way,
Thank you. Which honestly happened. I'm not afraid of telling that, like this is the next thing, because everyone just provides you the results of a positive week. Nobody is, telling you, hey, listen, there is also losses, and there's no trader, believe me, there's no trader that has
didn't experience those for sure, and came back. That's the most important part. No real trader did not come back from, like, there's no real trader that didn't have losses, and there's no trader that stayed a trader that didn't come back from them.